Hello everyone, this is Romario with a new Premodern video, and like always, if you like Premodern, if you like Legacy, if you like the content that I post, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your comments below on anything that you don't like about it too. If you want to criticize my card choices, art choices, just don't criticize the Merchant Scroll. They don't have the Homeland's art on Magic Online. Just kidding, but yeah, so if you like the content that I post, yeah, make sure to do those things. I really like to read the comments that you guys leave. I think I've learned a lot from just the comments, the lines that I could have taken, ways that I played some decks. And then for this week, I'm playing a deck that I got from my friend Marcus, Evolved. If you recognize the name from Legacy, you probably seeing him playing like blue decks with sometimes with some of those cards that we're seeing right here, but usually alongside High Tide. Marcus, I think he played this deck, the same 75 at, it might have been the Swedish Nationals for Premodern, question mark. It was definitely an event in Sweden. I posted the Dream Halls deck from the last video in one of the Discord servers that we're in. And so he replied with this thing, this deck. I'm sorry, not this thing, this deck. And I had played against Frantic Search Storm a few times, but I never played with the deck. And it was a deck that always seemed really interesting. No, we don't see a lot of spell-based combo decks in Premodern. I think the only one is usually the ill-gotten gains that I run into. So it looked really good, and I had like slowly picked up some of the parts for this deck in paper. I recently got a playset of Sapphire Medallions for Legacy High Tide. But yeah, and also it's playing Teferi's Isle, which is like a sweet card. Like I actually just put those in my card. Teferi's Isle and I think Griffin Canyon. I forgot the name, the land from Visions that you can +1 your Griffin. And I don't know. It's a funny card, but I love the art from those lands from the era, like with the frame. But yeah, not trying to get on a tangent here. But so there are 2 copies of Teferi's Isle. So this deck looks really cool. It is kind of like a High Tide deck without High Tide. So looking at the list, we're playing 16 copies of Islands, so rock solid against Wasteland. There isn't really even like a need for fetch lands. Those just kind of reduce your life total, really. We're not playing anything that manipulates the top of the deck, so there's no need to shuffle the deck or anything like that. We're not playing like Flash of Insight or any cards that we need to fill up the graveyard. So 16 islands. Teferi's Isle, it's a card that helps you go up in mana with all the cards that untap your lands. And then we have 4 copies of Lotus Petal that, as it might and this part might not be 100% correct, and I'm not claiming to be a specialist in this deck, but in the practice games that I've been testing, I came to the conclusion that a lot of times Lotus Petal is just like a really good way for you to get either Sapphire Medallion or Helm of Awakening play a turn quicker. Sometimes it just allows you to untap, and you can either maybe try to win, or you can cast multiple spells at the end of your opponent's turn, like with AKs and Merchant Scroll. And then we have the 2, again, they're kind of like, in a way, if you ever play High Tide in any other format, they kind of work the same way here in this deck. You make your spells cost 1 less mana, and you get to untap your islands. So you have Helm of Awakening that you just have to keep in mind that that card is symmetrical. It's from the time in Magic when things were symmetrical. So whatever your opponent is casting also will cost 1 less. And then we have Sapphire Medallion that makes your blue spells cost 1 less. There are some interactions here that if you have 2 Helm of Awakenings, Sapphire Medallions are free after that. A Helm of Awakening makes a Sapphire Medallion cost 1 less after you cast this one. So just something to keep in mind. And then we have 4 copies of AK. AKs and Meditate are kind of like your ways to recoup some of the card disadvantage. Also, I think AK also is really good against some of the, not against, but in the slower matchups. Like if you're playing against things like Stand Still or a black and white control, or the Rock. It's a deck that we haven't seen very often. I mean, I haven't seen in a while, but no, things like that. The games just go long. If they don't, as long as they don't have a way to mess with your graveyard, you can just kind of sit back sometimes and just draw extra cards. There is 1 copy of Arcane Denial. We are a deck that's playing Merchant Scroll, so I guess it makes sense. You can sometimes just Merchant Scroll for an Arcane Denial for a combo turn. There are extra copies of Arcane Denial on the sideboard. So And in this deck also makes sense to play Arcane Denial over Counterspell because we're playing spells that reduce a generic mana. I can say colorless, a generic mana. So Arcane Denial makes a little more sense. Also, there's some extreme situations that you want to cast a spell. You can hold priority, counter your own spell, and you can draw 3 cards off Arcane Denial on your upkeep. So there's 1 copy of Arcane Denial in the main deck. Then we have 4 copies of Brain Freeze. That's really your combo here. And I really like that this version has 4 copies. I'm not entirely sure if 4 is the stock number for this deck. I'm assuming it is, but previously decks that I've played that play Brain Freeze, they would have like maybe 1 copy in the main deck, and then a second copy in the sideboard you can find with a Cunning Wish. Actually, speaking of your Golden Gaze, I think that's what this list had. Yeah, so like there's 1 copy in the sideboard, and then you have the copies of Cunning Wish in the main deck. I think some of the other Dream Halls decks that I've seen, they will do something like that too. This deck, no, just playing 4 Brain Freeze. So sometimes you can kind of just brute force Brain Freeze. I noticed that sometimes you can just cast 2 Brain Freeze in the same turn. If you have one of those, a Sapphire Medallion or Helm of Awakening, it's not hard for you to just have double blue. Or if you have triple blue, you can Merchant Scroll for a 2nd Brain Freeze if you already have one in your hand. But yeah, either way, having 4 Brain Freeze totally makes sense in this deck. Then we have the 4 Cloud of Faeries and Snaps. And I'm just mentioning those 2 together because they are kind of like their own little interaction combo, quote unquote. Cloud of Faeries, it's a creature that it's really interesting how I remember this card from like, when it was in Standard. And then I remember seeing being played in some legacy decks that used to play Shelldock Isle. I think it was called Mean Deck. It was like really a Doomsday deck. They used to put Emrakul in play. I've seen being played like in Temple, blue-black decks in Legacy and Extended. But I think it really shines like in this type of combo. Also, I think it sees play like in Pauper. So the card is like, it's a 1/1 flyer that has cycling, but the second line of text is the one that really matters with this card. It says like, when it comes into play, untap up to 2 lands. So really what we're trying to do is have one of those 2 artifacts in play. So Cloud of Faeries at this point counts for you cast for 1 mana, 1 blue, and you get to untap 2. So what it means is you go up 1 mana when you cast this spell. If you have a snap, then you all of a sudden go up 2 mana because so you're gonna cast Cloud of Faeries, you're gonna produce an extra mana, then you snap it back to your hand. You're gonna go up 1 more mana, and then when you recast Cloud of Faeries, you go up 1 more mana again. So at the end of this cycle, you went up 3 mana, and the other ones, okay, so the 2 Cloud of Faeries and Snap already went over that. Merchant Scroll, I mean, you can kind of find like pretty much any card in your deck except for the artifacts with Merchant Scroll, so just super versatile. You can also find pretty much all the sideboard cards we have in the deck too. In my experience, I actually searched up for pretty much every card in the deck with the Merchant Scroll in the practice games that I played. A lot of times, you would just go search for Frantic Search if you have a Teferi Isle in play. If you go low in resources, you can search for Meditate if you have extra blue mana. Like, let's say if you went through the whole Cloud of Faeries cycle with Snap and you all of a sudden you have like 4 or 5 blue mana, you can Merchant Scroll for Meditate, and then you can easily find more gas and basically continue your combo, adding Storm Count, etc., etc. Words of Wisdom, that one is really interesting. At first, maybe you might not understand how it works. But really what we're trying to do here is make your opponent draw a card when they have an empty library. And again, 1 copy, you can find a Merchant Scroll. So I find this particularly important against red decks. Sometimes by the time you finish milling them with Brain Freeze, they can still kill you on their upkeep before they go to the draw step. So if you have a card that makes them draw a card on your turn after you finish resolving the Brain Freeze, you can just win the game before you pass a turn. Very important against those decks. Other than that, I don't know if like really, it just becomes like 1 blue, draw 2 if you have a Sapphire Medallion play. But I think it's pretty crucial to have this type of effect in your main deck when the format's full of like red decks, right? Frantic Search kind of plays a similar role as Cloud of Faeries and Snap. If you have a Teferi's Isle, an island, and like one of the Sapphire Medallions, it's really easy for you to go up on a lot of mana. You do have to understand that Frantic Search, even though the card is very powerful, banned in some formats actually, it is not card advantage, it just filters. So again, it's one of those cards that it takes some setting up. Also, this deck really operates like a 3 mana, in my opinion. So just things, I guess, to keep in mind. And if you don't agree, please leave a comment below. I'd actually like to hear y'all's thoughts on this. But I think a lot of times if you get to 3 mana and you have a Sapphire Medallion or Helm of Awakening, it makes sense sometimes to just not play any more lands because of Frantic Search. Unless, of course, you have Meditate, then maybe makes sense because then you just have the extra cards to discard to Frantic Search. But it's just something to keep in mind when you're playing this card. It is very powerful in this deck. You can definitely win games with this. Being a card that untaps 3 lands definitely helps with the whole going up in resources type of deal. Meditate, again, it's just probably the best draw you can have with this deck. Draw a spell. A lot of times it will be a 2 mana, draw 4. And if you already have gone through the Frantic Search and snap for Cloud of Faeries, it's almost like 1 blue, draw 4. It does have the drawback, of course, that you skip it next turn, so you gotta really watch out when you cast it. You don't want to draw and not be sure that you're gonna win the game, and then next thing you know, you pass in the turn with your opponent attacking for lethal in 2 turns. But it's probably one of the best cards in this deck. Looking at the sideboard, we got 2 copies of Annul. I like Annul against decks you expect them to play Sphere of Resistance, or good against Enchantress, of course. There are decks that will play Seal of Cleansing, that type of deal. Chain of Vapor is just a catch-all that you can also use as a way to get Storm too. This is a trick that I think from playing Storm for a few years, I've done it a few times when I was playing with this deck in preparation, quote unquote, to play in the league. But you can always cast a Cloud of Faeries, bounce back with Chain of Vapors, replay it. So you kind of have the same effect as having a snap for sort of. Not quite the same, but in the pinch, you can do that. Also, you can play, let's say if you have more than 1 Lotus Petal, you can cast a Lotus Petal, sack a land, put it back in your hand, replay the Lotus Petal, and that'll get you a little bit more Storm count. Then the 4 copies of Hydroblast, pretty self-explanatory. Red is everywhere in Premodern. Your deck's all blue. So at least you can counter their Pyroblast. So just, again, it's a card that deals with red cards, right? Then you have 3 more copies of Arcane Denial. I'd like to bring them in against other control decks. Just a way to fight their counter magic. Turnabout. I actually like this card against control decks because you can use this for both to gain mana when you have the I need to come up with a nickname for this. I don't know if I call it discounters, but they do make your mana count discounted. But Turnabout can work as a mana short. When you end of turn, you can tap your opponent's lands. I know in this format we have days and foils and thwarts, but a lot of times your blue opponents do, or not only blue, but other decks that have things that destroy your artifacts and stuff. They do need to tap their lands to interact with you on your turn. So being able to tap your opponent's lands on their turn, at the end of their turn, it's relevant. You can also just tap all their creatures if you're facing a lethal attack and you just need that 1 more turn to be able to combo. But yeah, very versatile card. I don't think you need more than 1 copy though. We're not playing High Tide proper, but having 1 copy that you can search with a Merchant Scroll might be relevant. Thawing Glaciers. Again, this is probably for slower games too. I think you just if you're playing against decks they're playing Standstill or decks that want to go long. If you can just slowly gain some card advantage by not drawing lands and just drawing blue cards. Tormod's Crypt, pretty good against, of course, any Hermit deck that's trying to mill their entire deck or replenish. Good against decks that are playing Gaia's Blessing, so you don't let them reshuffle their deck. And there's Tsabo's Web. Tsabo's Web is another card that I think is really good against the blue Parallax Tide decks. Their main form of winning the game is by attacking with mana lands. So you got a card that cycles by itself, so it's not card disadvantage, and you also stop all their win cons. So well, maybe not all the win cons, but the majority of them. So yeah, just a very good card in Premodern. Lots of lands that have abilities like no, like I said, the lands that turn into creatures, Rashadon Ports. I mean, even Dust Bowls and so Wastelands. Just a very good card. Yeah, the deck is a Storm deck. It's a combo deck, and it kind of does a good impression of being a high tide deck in Premodern format. The high tide is not legal. I'm kind of excited to be playing with Teferi's Isle. I think it's the first time I played with this card ever. I think even when I was a kid and playing standard with this card, when Mirage was legal, I don't think I ever played this card. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can have a good record and have a good time playing matches of Mono Blue Frantic Search. All right, so we're here for the first round. This hand is not keepable. I think I can keep this one. All right, so I'm gonna put back one of the Frantic Searches. I just asked my opponent to make sure that we're here for the league. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put one of the Frantic Searches back. I mean, I definitely need to draw a second land, but I don't know, this deck. We really just need 2 lands to be able to operate. Right, this is not a land, but we did draw a second AK, so not terrible. All right, well, Spear Resistance. Ugh, I don't think I can win though. All right, let's see what happens after this turn, because if I don't draw a second land, then I can maybe just concede and go to game 2. Try to hide what I'm playing. I don't know if it's kind of bad to do that like in a casual league. Like, all right, let me just hide what I'm playing but also at the same time, like it doesn't really make sense for me to keep playing if I can't get past Fear Resistance. But yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Unfortunately, because like I don't. Again, it feels like for a league like this, I kind of want to play it out. Okay, so let's see what I'm gonna do. I think I want to know, and I think I want Tsabo's Web. I don't think those decks are running Gaia's Blessing like they did before. I really don't like Helm of Awakening. For some reason, this card just seems to be the weakest of the type of effect in the deck. I think I'm just gonna bring a second Arcane Denial. Maybe Chain of Vapors. Yeah, maybe you know what? Let me do that. Because I'll have a hard time beating Sphere, or sometimes they're band callers, like they can have Medley Mage. Words of Wisdom. Maybe they're not the one that like. Not. I don't know if it's great. It's a way to win the game on the spot, like so you don't pass a turn to your opponents. I'm wondering if I should have Helm of Awakening there, or can I uncheck? I know last time I tried to do this, Magical Line didn't let me Let me do it. Well, all right. Maybe I'll have a better 7. Oh. I make a mistake again for keeping this. Yeah, probably. All right, this end is way better. All right, so I think I'm gonna put back. I think we're back an island. And it's hopefully draw. I shouldn't have 6. Playing blue. All right, so kind of want to take that island back. All right. Let's see. So I have what? 2 copies of a Chain of Vapors, and I mean, realistically speaking, oh, they. If I draw islands for the next 2 turns. I'm just gonna discard one of the AKs. I don't know if we can still win this game. We have 4 cards in hand. I'm assuming a number of them are Land Destruction. We're late for this now. I'm gonna swing with Factory. Okay. We have a Petal. Yeah. I'm just gonna naturalize it. Yeah. That is kind of like a Land Destruction at this point. Swing for 5. Yeah, I don't think I can come back from this. I'm going to take one more draw step and see what I draw. If I draw an island, does it even matter? Probably not. They have 2 reshot on ports. And they just have lethal on board. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, it was like a little bit of a non-game. I thought round game one, the keep was maybe a little iffy, but usually in this format, like I feel like I usually have time to at least get to cast a AK if I draw a second land. Cool. 0-1. Let's see if we can turn around this league and maybe finish with a positive record. All right, so we're here for round two of the Premodern League. Got the right deck. Cool. On our opponent. All right. So I'll be able to play. Ooh, lots of one-landers in this league. Let's mulligan this one. I guess I'm gonna keep this one. Uh, yeah, I guess I'll keep it. Not too happy about it, but nice. Birds of Paradise. Let's play another island, I guess. Then pass. I'm kind of tempted to just like cycle this Cloud of Faeries. I think it's not a combo deck. All right, so let's do this. All right, there's a druid. I get to draw one. They get to draw two. I think I only have one line that wins here. I'm gonna try to do that. Um, right, so I think meditate. That does not win. So if I drew that card that both of us draw cards, then maybe I could have done something. I think I got Exhume, right? So Exhume can get. I don't think bringing back the Cloud of Faeries is gonna help me. I guess Snap wouldn't be a card that would also work if I can just, yeah. All right. So, all right. So I think I need Tormod's Crypt. Maybe Chain of Vapors. I was thinking Words of Wisdom. That one's also kind of cool because if they mill themselves, then you can kill with that. Let's see. I think, yeah, Helm of Awakening seems not great, in my opinion. The two Arcane Denials. Is Arcane Denial good? Is it better to have Helm of Awakening? I think I like it. I think I like Arcane Denial. I think it's a keep. I can always play Teferi's Isle like the turn I'm gonna do Frantic Search things. Such a weird design, right? Because it's a legendary land. Comes to play tapped, but has phasing. So like it takes a 2-turn cycle for you to be able to do something. It's interesting. I mean, this deck obviously you can untap it the turn that's in play, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna play an island and pass. Cloud of Faeries. Can we try to go off here? Maybe. Let's see. I don't think I need those two. Make some extra mana with this. Pick this up. Tap and tap. Tap, tap. Play this. And tap and tap. Let's try to draw some extra cards. Play this. Play this. And we can brain freeze them. Not a whole lot. There's a Croson Reclamation there. They do get an extra turn too. So 27 cards in their deck. Tapping for blue. Cabal Therapy. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna name Arcane Denial. Oh, they did. Okay. I guess it makes sense, right? That was not well, yeah. If it was Snap, that would have just guessed last turn. Yeah, it had to be Counter Magic for to make sense. Exhume. What do they got going on? Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Might as well. That's Illusionist. Half of the breakfast. Like how Magic Online they already is updated. I think the real card says Illusionist something. I'm gonna hold on to the island because if I draw Frantic Search, I want to have the extra cards to discard. There's no what you call Dragon's Breath. No. Okay, that's actually Snap is interesting because if I target Illusionist, then they mill themselves. So yeah, this might be relevant. They're gonna swing for 3. Go to 12. Yeah, I think there's still a reason for me to play the islands. I do need to draw something at one point here, otherwise I'm just gonna lose to mediocre beats. No, I think I'm gonna still just chill here. The Hermit. So now is the for damage per turn. Yeah, 23 cards. I don't know if I can mill this many cards now. I almost feel like I need to draw Frantic Search and hit what, double Brain Freeze maybe. That's a Worldly Tutor. Okay. Oh, how many Cobalt Therapy is that? Oh, 2. Another Arcane Denial. Hmm. What's the plan here? An islands. All right. Uh, okay, then reanimate the Terravore. Maybe we should have been attacking them. No, I only missed one attack, I think. Okay, there's a Cross and Reclamation. Okay. 1 card. They want to put 2. Assume for 1. That's X's next turn. Oh, that's kind of funny. All right. I mean, maybe they have another Cross and Reclamation in the deck, but I think that was the right play. All right, so I'm gonna go to game 3. You know what? Maybe I should. Maybe I should cut the Arcane Denials and try to go faster with the Helm of Awakening. This is a Helm of Awakening. Yes. But I do think I need Chain of Vapors though, so I can stop that plan. This ends horrible. I can play Petal, bring freeze for 6. This is way better. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put back Frantic Search. I may just put back AK. I think that's bad about putting AK back is like you're never gonna get to that point in the game. You know what? Now I'm thinking about maybe AK is a card that I should side out because these games are gonna go fast. And I know they're gonna duress. All right. Ball Therapy, turn 1. Tormod's Crypt. Only if they knew there's only one copy in the whole deck. Obviously they don't know, so it's guess I just pass like this. Oh, they don't have anything going on. Oh, that's a very good draw. So I guess the question is, do I wait? I think I'm gonna wait 1 turn. So if I play this, tap and tap. So I think in this case, I'm not gonna recast the fairy. I think I'm just gonna Frantic Search. I think I can double Brain Freeze. Not sure if that's the. All right, cool. That was that deck plays a lot of discard spells, so kind of a nail biter. All right, that was 101. Hopefully, I can still finish the league. Start the league kind of leaked, but yeah, got 4 more matches. If I get them in before the end of the league. All right, so back here for round 3, playing against Lenny. Got the right deck. Always important to check. Like, happens at least once per video. Like, I grabbed the wrong deck. Wow. Is that the fourth time now that I'm seeing a one lander? Yeah, I think I'm gonna mulligan this one. All right, so this one's tough, right? Because it's basically a one lander again. So in 3 turns, I can. If I draw exactly Cloud of Faeries and they don't do anything, and maybe I can get there. All right, I guess I'll do this for science. I think I'm just gonna put back one of the merchant scroll. Did they mulligan? No, they didn't. All right, so I'm gonna play this out, and again, it's not the greatest to play in the opening hand, but well, if I knew I was gonna draw an island, then Tuco shade. All right. If I play this, can I storm for enough? Probably not. I'm just gonna play land, and I guess I just pass. Not nearly enough storming there. I'm gonna swing for 5. No. Oh, Spectre. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna bounce this Spectre. And try to go off next turn. I think, yeah. Because I don't have to cast Helm of Awakening or play the island out. If I had Teferi's Isle in play. But don't block. Kind of hope that they go all in on the Nantuko shade here. If I let this just hit me, what's the downside? I think if they tap to pump shade, then I guess I put Spectre back in their hand, because then it's like 2 turn cycles for them to replay it and attack. They don't. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that then. Feels like I kind of just waste my storm count, but all right. So they played that. Oh, okay. So now I think like the kids like to say, we're cooking. You know, so now I'll have enough cards to discard actually. So if I play this thing, guess meditate, I guess. I still don't think I need the islands. I think I'm just gonna Frantic Search. Discard this 2. Untap, untap, untap. Could get another I guess I can just get 3 brain freeze. Do I have enough mana to cast all that? So 1. No, I won't have enough mana to do all that. I guess I could get Frantic Search. And then, yeah. Alright, so I can get a Frantic Search. In this case, then. And the Helm of Helm of Awakening doesn't really matter. So Islands. And. No, maybe I do need this then. Alright. I'll play an island. And I can grab another brain freeze. Then brain freeze them. Oh, I just realized I could have AK first too, but alright. Didn't matter too much, I guess. So I don't know what mono black has against me. They probably. I guess I just have to watch out for the discard spells, I guess. Turnabout is interesting because it can work as a. It can be like offense and defense. I can tap their team or I can just chain of vapors. I'm gonna put a chain of vapors in here. All right, I think that's. Like low key, I kind of want them to just Dark Ritual, Persecute, name blue. That would be kind of sweet. So turn one on Sapphire Medallion or Helm of Awakening. Alright, yeah. Let's see how this goes. It's gonna duress turn 1 probably. Oh. Hypnotic Spectre. Alright. I'll play this thing. I'll get hit for 2. Something's gonna get discarded. This be one of the helms. AK. Fine. Just make the next one better. Alright. Yeah, I'll tap this. Oh Lord. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to take a hit then. I can't just skip snapping every turn, I guess. What did they name here? Brain freeze? Meditates. All right. I don't have mana to recast it, please. And I have 6 here because. But if they do recast, then they're gonna get brain freeze here. Then maybe flashback Cabal Therapy. Oh dang. All right, all I need to do is just draw another EK. Great top deck. So Shady's gonna swing for 6 now. Wow, that's a pretty fast clock. Oh, 7, there was another land. Okay, missed that. So it's a 2-turn clock. All right, cool. Looks like they got this one. Yeah, so yeah, I think I can just ship it back like this. I'm not gonna. The other option would be to cut the Words of Wisdom, yeah, and bring in an extra Chain of Vapors. I just need 2 lands, a medallion. There you go. That's kind of like what I was hoping to see. Even if it gets discarded, I've got a hand that can develop into something good. If it's a turn 1 Hypnotic Spectre, I can always like Chain of Vapors and Tappling Medallion, then kind of go from there. Where are those ones? They're like, I have those in paper. I don't think I've seen the swamps in paper. Also, like, interesting. If you guys saw my Dream Halls video, I think it was that one. The thumbnail, I was looking online for the art for this specific island, and I came across which seems to be, so it was made by Donato Giancola. Hopefully I'm saying this correctly. But it looks like it was an art that he drew from the other side of the island. So like if you're looking from the other side, not this angle, but the opposite angle. It looked really interesting. I'm pretty sure it was his art. I don't think it was like a AI or anything like that. But I thought it was really nice. I'm a big fan of those saga masks art that we used to have in Magic. So yeah, there's no bonus for playing my stuff now, so if I draw a 3rd land or another like Medallion or Helm, I could try to do something silly. Can even like Chain of Vapors back the Cloud of Faeries, like something like that. Such an interesting design that it turns out to be. It was used like, you know, different combos. Like, remember like when I first started playing Legacy, I saw this deck that I think was called Mean Deck. And the way the deck used to win, it was like get a Shelldock Isle. And that's how they used to do the same on the same turn. So you play Shelldock Isle, get Emrakul in play, and then untap both lands and, you know, combo like that. So here shows the revealed cards, right? So they know about these, but they don't know about the 2 Brain Freeze. Okay. Dark Ritual. Is it Persecute? No. Yep. Oh snap. Alright, so Hypnotic Spectre. I think I need to cycle this. Oh, there was one turn away from me able to do stuff with this. Yeah, I'm not sure what I need to draw here. Yeah, I think I really need to draw a land before this turn. I think they know my entire hand, right? It's just the no. Well, they don't know about the Teferi's Isle, but that's a Dust Bowl. Um, If I grab these 2, they can just like Dust Bowl. No, well, they can, but they don't do anything else that turn. All right, so I think I have to kind of just hope to draw well. Maybe they just Dust Bowl me this turn and don't pump Nantuko Shade. I have 7, 8, 9. So what do we need to draw? That's something. All right, so I think next turn has to be exactly meditate into some like really busted stuff. Otherwise I'm just dead. Okay, let me show us factory. Well, I'm not blocking, of course. Yeah. That's, yeah. Doesn't really matter. Okay. All right. I guess exactly meditate, and then it has to be meditate into, I don't know, Frantic Search. That is a Helm of Awakening. That's not. That's not what I was looking for. All right. Yeah, I think I needed to draw land a turn before I drew the Teferi dial. Cool. All right. Let's see. So that was round 3. Cool. We'll see you guys here for round 4. And the 3/3 dreams still alive. All right. Round 4, the Premodern League. I will be on the draw on this one. And I think this one's reasonable. So at least it's not a one lander. Yeah, I think it is. This one seems okay. Planes. Some other runes. Okay. Well, won't be able to snap their creatures. All right. So, so I just have to get to line number 3 or medallion, I guess. Which is like white weenie. Sometimes they play that bootleg Thalia. I think it's called Glow Rider, I think. It's a medallion. Yeah, I guess I'll play this first. There's an argument to not play this first and play the AK first, and then try to play. I mean, cast medallion when I have the extra mana. Like a lot of decks play disenchanted effects, right? So like they. That's not the one, right? That's the one that +1. Okay. All right. So. All right. This is the awkward part, right? Because I can't snap their creatures. So let's try to draw a card. I need to draw another land. All right, cool. I think I'm just gonna go get Frantic Search here. And yeah, I think I'll pass. I could try to end a turn and snap something, or then untap on my turn. I mean, cast snap, they get mom, and then untap, play on my turn again. But actually, that might not be bad, because if I'm gonna cast Meditate and Frantic Search, I will have the extra cards to discard to Frantic Search, but I mean, I guess it depends if they play anything here too. Savannah Lions. Okay. Yeah, I think It might just pro blue it. Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll go to my turn now. And yeah, I guess I can do this now. Untap, untap. Meditate. Okay. If I play an island, or if I just, all right, so Lotus Petal, play Helm, then I can cast Meditate for 1 mana. Blue, just cast this thing. Okay. Play an island. Frantic Search. All right, island, and actually I can just do Arcane Denial, because then then this thing costs 1 mana. This is just free. Yeah, I think that should do it like this. I was thinking about getting that card that makes both of us draw, but then I don't have enough mana for all that. Okay. I just bring Chain of Vapors. Not really sure. I mean, I guess it could be like disenchant effects. What else would they bring against me? No, that's an interesting one. Let me think about Turnabout. All right. Yeah, that's a mulligan for sure. I think I'm gonna keep this one. And I think put the pedal back, I guess. Comes the mum. Honor of the Pure. I'm gonna play this one first because I could play Sapphire Medallion next turn for the low price of one, you get like a 50% discount. Who doesn't like a discount? And if this thing gets disenchanted, I rather this gets disenchanted than this one. I think that's exactly what the opponent's gonna do. Oh, Aura Silence. Okay. Cool. I'll take 2 damage. Ooh, can I go off here? Perhaps. Let's guess this. 2. Can I bounce this back, please? All right. Oh, hold on. Doesn't make sense to do. Yeah. All right. So I could merchant scroll. Yeah, I think that's better. And then I can, what's it? Snap. We try to snap this. Tap, tap. All right. So as long as they don't have guys blasting on their deck, this should be able to do it. I think, hopefully. I'm gonna do it slowly. All right. Love me a guy's blasting, but I really don't want to see one now. Honestly, if I saw like 10 cards left in their deck, I was gonna let them have it. Maybe they drew it. And cool. All right. So 2 and 2. Maybe again, like I said, the three dreams still alive. All right, see you guys here for round 5. All right, so we're back here for round 5. Let me just make sure I got this correct. All right. So yeah, I think this hand is a keep. As long as we don't get duressed on turn 1 and lose my medallion, I think I should be in good shape. Let's see what they're playing, right? Ooh, okay. Usually, yeah, I was about to say in Premodern, usually that means, yeah, this. So, I think I am going to turbo out this thing, the medallion. Especially since I do the Teferi's Isle. So, like, if I draw any untappers, then I can maybe go off. Oh, is this a naturalize? Son of a gun. All right. Well, at least they're not doing anything. And, I mean, they're not dealing damage. That was an untapper. All right. I mean, we still have like 7 copies of things that can reduce the casting cost of things. And I want to do this at a high life total because milling them out doesn't guarantee that I'm going to win, right? Because I can still cast burn spells on their upkeep. So, so let's AK here. It's a fairy. Okay. Since I have the meditates, I think I'm gonna play the island. But I might have to make a move next turn. I'm gonna take 2 here. I go to 17, 14, 13. Fetch land puts me at 11. Okay. I'm gonna. Yeah, I might just want to. Do I want to cycle Cloud of Faeries? Okay, so they're gonna swing for 3. I go to 14. Oh no, I'm sorry. They're gonna swing for 4 because then they can't activate Lavamancer. All right, so I'm at 13. I'm gonna say that I'm a virtual 10. And I have 0 cards in hand. Like I think if I draw like another medallion or the helm thing, AK. Did I give up on the Cloud of Fairies too fast? Maybe I needed Cloud of Fairies to kickstart the combo. Did I fuck this up? The answer might be yes. I could just discard the AK. This is snap. And 2 brain freeze. Okay, so I could discard this one. Meditate. I don't think I have enough storm though. Or do I? Maybe I do. I don't know. All right, so do this. And bounce that. And tap these 2. I think if I draw, what do I need to draw here? You're gonna hit me for 2 turns. All right. Am I just dead on board? I'm not. This one for 4. I go to 9. Okay, I drew a lane at least. So that's no. I think I'm just dead, right? I think maybe I think I gave up on the Cloud of Fairies too quick because I think if I had another untapper, which would be the fairy, then I think that's 4. I go to 9. This one for 7. Sorry. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. I guess 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 9. I was short by 1. All right. So I guess I can cut the Arcane Denial. And I mean, I definitely want these, I think. just think the AK is like super slow in this matchup, so I don't know if I want to. Maybe I can cut the AKs and bring this thing. I think it's gonna be really hard for me to have a spot that I just want to like draw. Yeah, I think this one is alright. Maybe I can kind of weather the storm in the beginning and then we combo. I think this deck needed to have some chills in the sideboard, really, but that's neither here or there. I think if they play a red spell on turn 1, I think I'm going to counter. Yeah. Oops. It's strange how they changed the single magic online. Like, it wasn't like this before. I don't know, for people that played MTGO before, like Pyroblast and Hydroblast. It wouldn't ask you to choose what mode. It would just do it. So like if there was a spell in the stack, you could like click on that spell and it would do what you want to do. But now like you have to click and choose the thing. I think I'm just gonna play another medallion and pass. All right, now I need to draw a meditate, really? Probably. Okay, I'm gonna get smacked for 2 here. I didn't want to attack. That had to be an F6 thing, right? Pretty sure that's what happened. It happens. It's a curse scroll. It's a merchant scroll. Let me see if I can find I'm gonna try to grab a meditate here. And I think I'm gonna pass. I think I still have time to. It's gonna bolt me. Yeah, that's very inconvenient, but you know, it's funny. I think if I played Teferi Isle, I could almost do everything at instant speed. We need to make reset legal in Premodern. All right, so let's see if we can win. Oh, we have the card too. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with meditate. Is it blast? Okay, so in response, I'm going to Frantic Search. Okay, so we can discard the 2 islands, I think. I already played a land this turn. Okay. Yeah, Dryad is gonna get the counter. I am gonna counter it. You guys ever watch one of the Andrea Mengucci's old videos? He had one that became very, I don't know if I call it iconic, but he said that he was gonna counter the Bab with the Rab. I'm gonna cast another Frantic Search. Cool. Definitely discard the island. And I guess Lotus Petal and Fairy. I think the lands are gonna be. I mean, mana is gonna be the bottleneck, right? So, yeah, let's discard this too. Did I have mana? No, I wouldn't be able to cast Meditate because that's not how magic works. All right, so let's draw 4. Okay, and I'm pretty sure we got it. I mean, I got it from here. Oops. So I can kind of do whatever here, but I am going to target their thing. Untap these 2. So 7. Oops. Tap this. Oh, guess this thing. All right, and because I'm not very bright, so they have 50 cards in their deck. So 16 Storm is the magic number. All right, let's see if we can get there. So I'm gonna cast this. So we're at 9. So what I can do is just Merchant Scroll for another Brain Freeze and then do the thing. I could Frantic Search. No, but then I just kind of put myself in a... Well, I can use this card to Hydroblast plus something else. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, I can just discard Hydroblast. Island. Untap. Tap, untap. I'm gonna cast Merchant Scroll. I'm gonna get a Brain Freeze. And I'm gonna Brain Freeze them. Please don't show me a Gaia's Blessing. I feel like I'm scared. Gaia's Blessing. At least if they show me Gaia's Blessing, then we just know the match is over. I don't have to rack my brain. River Bowl, Lightning Bolt, Hidden Gibbons. Okay, so they have Curses Scroll in their deck too. Alright, so we're gonna do this. I wonder if they actually have 12 damage in their hand and alright, I'm gonna do this. Cool. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna ship it back. The Turnabout can definitely help with the mana being bottleneck. The problem is like Cloud of Faeries is also another problem too, because they really hard for me to be able to do the snap Cloud of Faeries shenanigans. All right, let's see. I think my opponent did say something. Did I read what they said? Oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this one. I guess I can kind of just take it easy again. Well, I'm not gonna counter that one. If I play a creature, then I think I have to counter. If it's a creature that I can counter, of course. Is it gonna be a okay? Dryad. Okay, cool. So So it makes more sense to cast Helm first. I could cast Sapphire Medallion. I don't know if this is correct, but I don't think I can take too long against them. So like they can destroy one or the other, right? I mean, if they have 2 green and 2 naturalized, then yes, they can actually kill both of them because of a Helm being giving them a discount. Okay, so second Seal of Fire. All right. So if I draw, what do I need to draw? Not really sure. Frantic Search, maybe? I'm at 20. I mean, virtually, I'm at 16. If they kill Sapphire Medallion, I'm in trouble. If I tap Cloud of Faeries, draw 2. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I can just meditate and see. So risky. I guess since I haven't played a land this turn, I guess I can see how it goes. Okay, so I can play an island. I mean, not an island. Lotus Petal. 1 blue. Cast Cloud of Faeries. All right, I'm gonna untap tap. Okay, so if I cast, oh no, I can't do this. Yeah, if I had 1 extra island here, maybe. Untap this 2. And I can play a land. Too bad I already played a land this turn, right? Okay, so I can discard land and probably Helm. So if I cast, and I just have 6. Okay. If I do 2. I guess I'm gonna get. Oh, Turnabout might be. No. Not good. I think I should get Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze. Kind of like I did in the last game. Just make them draw a card. So I think if they had killed their Dryad, I would have been a bad spot, but who knows? I also understand the F6ing. Sometimes you play against combo, you don't think you can really do a whole lot, so it's just easier to just F6 and. Alright, don't show me guys blessing, please. right, and then we'll do this thing. Cool. All right, that was a nail biter. So I think no, this was like round 5. Lost 2, lost 3. I remember lost 2. I think I'm 3-2 now. So play the 6th and last round of the league. Hopefully you guys are having fun watching this deck. Frantic, I guess we can call it Frantic Storm or Sapphire Medallion Storm. I don't know, something like that. All right, we'll be back here for round 6. All right, we're here for the 6th and last round of the league. Found my opponent. They just messaged me saying that they created a game. All right. Looks like I'm on the place. That's good. I think I'm gonna keep. Take a look. All right. All right. Let's play an island. Can pass. I haven't played against Dreadnought in this league yet, so also this league has been more. I didn't play against like meta decks. I think really. I mean, sorry, I don't mean like meta, but I don't play against Dreadnought or actual Sly or Goblins, Elves, which I think is cool. I'm all for Premodern being a space for like burying and trying different things. So to me, it's still a casual format at the core because we're not going to make to the Pro Tour by playing Premodern. All right, drew an island, which is kind of like what I wanted to see. I think I just pass here. So next turn, I'm gonna just hope to draw a land. Oh, okay. Let's give my opponent an extra card. Oh, is this like Sekatog? This is cool. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Are you gonna counter? You still get to look at my hand, so it's not terrible. And if they tap out, then this is some good cards. I don't have any I don't get any defense grids or anything like this, but I do have the extra Arcane Denials, I guess. I wonder if Thawing Glaciers something I want to do in this matchup. Yeah, I think the Helm is the card to take from my hand. That was not good. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, unless I have those snaps for Psychotog, like kind of an answer to that card. I think I have to counter that. Too many cards that you're gonna draw. There's like what, 4 AKs in both graveyards. It's also kind of cool to play a format that I don't have to worry about getting bow mastered when I try to draw cards. Alright, so they have 8 cards in hand. They're gonna discard 1. Okay. One thing about Psychotog though is that they draw so many cards that maybe the Brain Freeze doesn't even have to be for like the full deck at one point. Like it doesn't have to be like a 16 storm kind of Brain Freeze, because it's not uncommon for this deck to like end the game with just like 12 cards left in the deck or something. So so I wouldn't be totally opposed to at one point just play a Cloud of Faeries, bounce it, play it, bounce it, cast Brain Freeze for, I don't know, 8 storm. Oh, they got disconnected? Alright, hopefully they can get back. Okay. Well, for you guys watching the YouTube channel, I am probably not going to edit this part out, so I'm just going to talk about the game until they reconnect. And this is a good opportunity for me to mention that if you haven't followed the channel yet, you can, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave in the comments below for, I love reading the comments. Sometimes they're a little harsh, sometimes they're very positive. Either way, I like to read all the comments. I understand that sometimes there's some deck choices, they're not the best, and sometimes some of the lines are not the best too, but I definitely learn from reading some of the comments that you guys leave, and yeah, I really like this type of interaction. I also record a weekly podcast with two of my buddies, Jared and Mike. It's a legacy podcast called Legacy Small Talk. So if you like the format too, every once in a while we'll throw some Premodern there, but they both of them don't play. But sometimes we have guests that do play Premodern. Then I try to get some Premodern there. But yeah, it's a weekly podcast that we talk about Legacy. And again, it's Jared. He goes by Geodude Jared on Magic Online, and Mike is Eureka 22422. Usually you see his name close to the top of the trophy leaders in the Legacy leagues. So I've been trying to convert them into Premodern, but so far no success. Okay, I think they said something big. Yeah, they said the MTGO crashed. That's why. So they didn't get disconnected because of the internet. I guess it was just the actual program. All right. I had a poor attempt of a joke there, but I don't know if the joke landed. All right. So opponent's got 7 cards in hand again. Okay, so it might be a case that they just play Psychotog here and hold up Circular Logic. Okay, so apparently they have issues with their MTGO client. It is something that can happen sometimes, unfortunately. All right, so Psychotog. And it's still holding up Counter Magic, so this is not looking very good for me. All right, so if I draw an island, oops, it's a Lotus Petal. Basically an island. I'm gonna try to bounce that. Recast this Cloud of Faeries. I think I'm gonna get a K with this. Oh, impulse. Ah. Okay, hold on a second. That changed things a little bit. Oil. Okay. All right. I think I needed that foil to resolve. I mean the merchant scroll to resolve. Yeah, they have 14 cards. Let's try to play this thing. Okay. They probably have a removal spell for my Cloud of Faeries, right? It's mothers and okay. So obviously I have to block. Okay, so they have 4 cards in hand. I'm gonna portent. Oh, target me. Maybe they'll give me an island. And then draw 4. Counter spell. And draw 4. This worked out. I don't have Stifle, right? Even if they counter 1. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna take this AKs. I don't want to give them AKs. I don't know if that's the coward's way to do this, but maybe this and then this. I'm also gonna do these and bring 2 Chain of Vapors. Sometimes they have they might bring Engineer Plague against me to name fairies, so I can bounce that, or I can also bounce the actual Sakatog. Okay. There's a little pause there. Okay, I'm gonna wait. Oh, should I wait? No. Okay, not waiting. We're doing it. They might have a null, but yep. Oh, opt. There was a null. Cool, cool. Like I said, they again they draw a lot of cards with their deck, so I don't think the Brain Freeze has to be for the full like storm. Oh, they don't have land number 2. I think I counter whatever they play now. Discard a foil. The hand must be all counter magic, I guess. It's close, but I think. No, I think I can take it. Wait a turn. Like I could try to cast something and counter my own something, but they're not doing anything. So I don't think I need to rush here. I think this turn now I can. Do I need to do anything still? Maybe not. The problem is not a lot of storm that I can produce. So now it gets a little more interesting because they have. Oh yeah, I think now we're doing it. Because now they can actually try to counter something, and that adds more storm and stuff. So I'm gonna tap these two. I'm gonna try to bounce this. Yeah, and now pick this up. Can't. They'll play this thing again. I'm gonna counter that. Cool. Tap these two. And for the last time in this league, please don't have Gaia's Blessing. Okay. Oh, opponent said something. Sorry. GG. All right. Cool. So okay, so some final thoughts here on the list. Very interesting. I definitely struggled in the first couple of rounds. I played a ton of practice matches with this list, and to be quite honest, I had a hard time like at first understanding how to sequence with this deck. Obviously, the games that your opponent doesn't interact with you, they're super easy, right? You just play Sapphire Medallion, then you guys saw some of the rounds. You just basically just do whatever. But as soon as you had to start taking consideration the possible interactions your opponent can have, then things get a lot more complicated. I actually have to. I should have talked to Marcus before I played the league, like asking about some of the sideboarding. There's some of the cards here, like the combination of 1 Arcane Denial and 3 in the sideboard. I kind of had a hard time understanding when to bring them in and like what to cut, because there are 3 copies of Arcane Denial, and so like clearly there's like no, if you're gonna bring 3 of them and then one of the one-offs, I guess. I really like that. I don't know if it's stock to always have 4 Burning Freeze, but I really like that you can just kind of like brute force the Brain Freeze. Sometimes you don't have to just cast one Brain Freeze. Historically speaking, like every time I played a deck that played Brain Freeze, you'd have maybe one copy of Brain Freeze because it was just your win con. Like sometimes it was like a Cunning Wish target, or no, something like that. Or maybe you'd have two copies, like one in the main deck, one in the sideboard. Like I think the Ill-Gotten Gains deck, that's how it works. I know it's a different deck, but yeah. So in that one, you have one copy in a sideboard. And even if speaking of like Legacy, for instance, or Old Extended, it was usually like one copy, right? Or like I said, two. Be one in the main deck that you could find with a Merchant Scroll, and then a second copy will be in the sideboard that you can find with Cunning Wish. So this one having 4 copies, it's really cool. Like I didn't play against any of the slower blue decks, but if you play against something like Standstill or I'm probably even like Black and White Control, something like that, you can probably just Brain Freeze one time, and later you cast like AK for 3, chain to meditate, whatever it is, just cast a second Brain Freeze and can still probably get there. Like so I really like that it's got 4. Again, I'm not really sure if that 4 is the stock number. Teferi's Island, that card is sweet. I actually had to put some of those in my cart online because I actually don't own them in paper. And Teferi's Isle and the Griffin card, the land, I forgot the name, Canyon, I think, Griffin Canyon. There's 2 lands like I really want to own from like this era magic, and I might just buy 4 of them just because they're awesome. But yeah, I like to see these cards being played, and I not 100% that if I'm correct on this one, but it seems like the best way to cast this, to use this card is the way I did after round 2. So I kind of learned this throughout this league, but it seems like you just want to play this when you, on your combo turn, that you have the cards that can untap. I think just playing on turn 1 and then wait 2 turns, it's probably not the right way to do it. So I think that was something that I learned that was correct. Yeah. If I was gonna play this deck again, I think this seems like a cool configuration. I was wondering if this deck could run something like Flash of Insight or Fact or Fiction for some of the games that go longer. Even in my practice, some of the decks that play a lot of discard, sometimes you have a hard time like recouping the cards that got discarded. So a card like the Fact or Fiction or Flash of Insight can help with that, but it's tough to cut cards on this deck and put something else, right? Because it's pretty much the 2 artifacts you play to reduce your costs, and Brain Freeze, Cloud of Faeries, Snap, Merchant Scroll, also Frantic Search. They all seem to be like core cards of the deck, so you can't really cut them, which will leave you with AK, Arcane Denial, and Meditate. So I think like those probably be one of the cards that you could maybe cut if you want to make room for something else. But overall, I think the deck is really, really cool. I might put this together in paper. I don't know if I'll bring it to my locals because it is kind of like a solitary deck, and usually when I go play in paper, I like to play decks that are like a little bit more interactive, especially because our locals are more casual. Then the sideboard, I think Turnabout was a cool idea. I think maybe I should have sided in some of the matches that I didn't. It is definitely a way for you to. I think this card has, like I said, it has a few different modes here. You can use in a defensive way. You can end of turn tap your opponent's lands, for instance. We are playing a format that, of course, there are daisies and foils, but a lot of decks still need to tap their mana, their lands to interact with you on your turn. So you can kind of use it as a mana short, or if you're about to die to some creatures attacking you, you can just tap all their creatures, and then if it's in your turn, you can use sort of like a high tide type of card, right? If you have 2 of these in play, Turnabout can actually produce a lot more mana. So and it's an instant. You can find a Merchant Scroll, so that's probably why there's only 1 copy in the sideboard. And yeah, the Thawing Glaciers, I'm sure, is also another card that would be for some of the slower games, but I didn't get paired against any of those decks. And yeah, I think I had a lot of fun playing this deck. It was definitely a puzzle that felt like every match I had to try to solve. And some of them were successful, some of them I wasn't. And I think all my opponents played really well, so there's always that. And with that, again, I'm just gonna ask you if you guys like Premodern, if you guys Legacy, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave your comments below. please, for this league, if you guys saw some different lines I could have taken, please leave your comment in the comments. I will read all of them. I'm actually really interested in figure out like some of the lines I could have taken. I'm sure round 1, 2, and 3, actually round 4 too. I think the first half of the league, like there were definitely lines in some of the matches I could have taken differently. Not necessarily the ones I lost, but also all of them. I think there were. I was looking back, and I think there were some of the lines I could have definitely taken some better lines. And so leave your comments. I'll read them and reply to them. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.